Today, in lesson 158, we are going to be converting fractions to decimals. And it's pretty easy stuff. But what they want you to do is memorize some of them. These are the ones up here, I don't like that blue, that they want us to memorize. All right, I love the bright colors, but they don't show up. All right, here we go. All right, so the ones we need to memorize is 1/2 is 0.5, 1/4, 0.25, 3/4, 0.75. All right, so with those you can almost think of quarters. 1/4, 25, 2/4, 50, 3/4, 75. All right. When I think of fifths, I think that if you divide $1 up into fifths, you get 20 cents for every fifth. So 1/5 would be 20 cents or 0.2. 2/5 would be 40 cents or 0.4. 3/5 would be 60 cents or 0.6. And 4/5 would be 0.8 or 80 cents. The eighths are probably the hardest, and you just have to memorize them. 1/8, and I don't even remember them all the time. I remember the 7/8 because a lot of times with quizzes and stuff, kids will get 7 out of 8 right. So 1/8 is 0.125. 3/8 is 0.375. And if we were together, we would start doing these with flashcards. 5/8 is 0.625. And 7/8 is 0.875. All right. All right. So some we memorize, some we just have to know how to convert. So go down to number 1, and we'll start filling these out, and I'll show you how to convert the ones we don't memorize. All right. 1/4, as you look up top, what do you see? 0.25. 3/10 isn't up top, so skip it for a minute. 1/2. 0.5.
Yeah,
2/5.
doing wheelies.
0.4.
They're on their back tires.
7/8. 0.875.
On mopeds.
Ryden's all excited because kids are doing wheelies out front. 7/20 is not one we memorize, so we'll come back to it. 3/20 also with that, and 9/50. So those three, we have to know what to do. So I keep telling, especially the 6th graders, when you see fractions and you see that line in the middle, think of 3 divided by 10, like for this. 3 divided by 10, and that will help you set up the problem. So it's 3 divided by 10. So down in the workspace down here, write that. We know when we can't, we can add a decimal and start adding zeros. And at that point, we see that 10 goes into 30 3 times. Now, now that I said that, I know anything with 10 on the bottom, I always think of the dimes in $1, right? So if you have 3 dimes in $1, then that would be 30 cents. All right. The 20s, I'll tell you right now that I always think of the 20s, that there's 5 20s in $1, right? So look what happens. So this is 7. This one right here, F, is 7 divided by 20. So do 7 divided by 20. And let's watch what happens. 20 goes into, oh, I had to put the decimal up there because I added that 0. 20 into 70 is 3 times, which is a 60, right? And that leaves me with 10. Add another 0. 20 goes into 100 5 times. 0.35. So what did I say? In $1, there's 5 20 cents in $1, right? Because 5 times 20 would be 100 or $1. So I could do 5 times 7. 0.35. Math is kind of cool when you think of it in different realms. So like, let's use that for this one. So if there's 5 20s in $1, right? So 5 times whatever I have on top, 3. 5 times 3, I should get 0.15. Let's divide it out and make sure I'm right. 3 divided by 20, right? Add the decimal. 20 goes into 30 once. Add another 0. 20 goes into 100 5 times. See the 0.15? All right, how many 50s are in a dollar? 2. So I wonder if 2 times 9 would be 0.18. Think I'm right? Let's try it. 9 divided by 50. Go ahead and do it. Add the decimal. Now it's 50 into 90, right? That's 1 time. And I'm left with 40. Add another 0. 50 into 400 is 8 times. Look at that. All right. Number 2, let's round off to the nearest tenth. We did this the other day. So we're rounding off to the 10th. Remember, 10th is the first place after the decimal. So I need to look at the second number, the 8, and that will round it up to a 6. The 9 here, what does it do to the 2? All right, do C, D, and E. I'll give you a second to do those 3. Pause me and do those 3. How's that sound? Okay, did you pause me and do those 3? Let's see what you got. So you should have 1.5 for this one. You should have 8.1 for this one because that 7 rounded that 0 up to a 1. And you should have 6.1 for this one because that 4 does not change that 1. All right, now let's round to the nearest hundredth. That's 2 places after the decimal. So we're rounding to this number right here. So the 5 will determine what to do with that, and that rounds it up. Let me do one more with you. So we look at the 4. What does that do to the 0? Nothing. All right, now pause me and do the next 3. Okay, did you do the next 3? All right, so I get 1.32 because that 6 rounded it up. 2.40 because that 3 doesn't do anything. And 1.56 because that 7 rounds it up. Okay, do you agree with me? All right, now let's round off our fractions to the nearest whole number. So remember, I'm going to ask myself if my fraction is less than half, because if it is, we just keep the number the same. 1/4 is less than 1/2. Is 1/9 less than 1/2? Sure is. How about 3/11? Well, half of 11 is 5.5, right? So we only have 3 out of 11, not 5.5 out of 11. So this will stay the same. 7 out of 9. 7 is more than 7/9 is more than half, so that'll go up. 2/3 is more than half, so that goes up. All right, let's do the back. All right, read these story problems and circle the estimated answer that is closest to the correct. So we're not going to have the exact answer. Brooke bought 8 yards of cloth at $3.95 a yard. What was her total cost of cloth? This is a really good skill to have. You're standing in a store and you want to buy, some cloth, and you want to know if you have enough. Well, $3.95 is pretty close to what? $4? Would you agree? So then what's 4 times 8? See how I can just do that in my head so easily? So Aiden bought 1.5 pounds of grapes at $1.48 a pound. So what is his change from $5? Well, I can totally do this in my head. I'm going to round up those 1.5 pounds to 2, because once we get to half, we round up. So I'm thinking 2 pounds. I'm going to round up $1.48 is really close to $1.50, isn't it? Yeah. So $1.50 at 2 pounds. Well, what's $1.50 twice? Did you get that? Now, that's probably going to be more, but at least I get a ballpark estimate, okay? And then I know if I have enough. And the fact that I rounded up here and rounded up here with the money is a good thing, because you want to, if you round down too much, you might not have enough money. But if you're rounding up, then you know you have enough money. All right, converting temperatures you should be able to do. Changing to improper fractions, that's old stuff. All looks pretty easy, guys. Change these decimals to fractions in lowest terms. So let me just remind you. So you put it over. This is 525 in the thousandths, right? And then reduce. This is 475 in the thousandths. This is 0.2 in the tenths. 0.32 in the hundredths. And then you have to reduce some. Okay? Order, I'm going to do this bottom with it because inevitably somebody messes this up and I don't want you messing it up. So when we're dealing with decimals, it's just like fractions. We got to have the same denominator, the same spot. So if I look in all these decimals here, I don't think I go any farther than 3 places into the decimal or into the thousandths. Do you agree with me? So all of them should go into the thousandths. So make that in the thousandths. And this one. And this one, and this one, and this one, this one, and that one is. Oh, I don't know why I did this one. Oh, shoot. Hold on. Hit the wrong button. Now I'm going to have to X out of here. And okay. What did I want to do? I wanted to hit that and get rid of that 0. Whew, I got to sneeze. Shoo! Whew. Okay. Shoo! Sorry. So I have 200s. Let's see. Do I have anything not even in the hundreds? This isn't in the hundreds. That's 94. And I think that's the only one not in the hundreds. So that one's going to be the first one. Now, do we have anything in the hundredths? That's in the whole ones right here. That's even bigger. I don't see anything in the 1 in the tenths place. Do you? Okay. Well, then let's look at numbers in the 2 in the tenths place. So I have, so this guy's done. I have 290. And don't look at the ones with the whole numbers because those are real big. I have 294 and 206. I have 3 that are in the decimal because we're doing smallest to largest or least to greatest. All right, so out of those 3, just think of them as regular numbers. Which one would be the smallest? 0.206. Okay. And then we have 290 and 294. All right, do you agree with me? Oh, by the way, I added this 0 in that 290, so technically I shouldn't write it right there. Okay. All right. All right, now let's look in the 300s. We have this one and this one. So 0.3 would go first and 0.301 next. Still with me? Now we've got these ones that go into the whole numbers. We have 1.09, 1.29, and 1.30. Which one would be first? Hopefully you said 1.09. And then we have 29 and 30. 29 is smaller than 30. So 1.29 and 1.3. Okay? All right. I'll let you do the rest. I have one more lesson I think to do today, and then I'll be done for a week. Have a good day, guys. Bye.